All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Looks like the instant grants are done for today. Delayed it a little bit for our call here, but today we're going to talk about Skip 10K grants and how to win them. And
Oh, I can't wait to
yes,
get started, David. Lots of good tips, lots of good tools and resources that we're going to utilize today from the platform. I know we're eager to get started, but before we jump right in, we just want to make a mention quickly here for our new members. Dragon Cross Property Media, welcome. Glad to have you. Lindsay Brock, again, welcome. Tanya Robinson, Felicia Howard, Janique Ephraim, and Steve Ferrari. So glad all of you could join us today. We definitely hope you stick around to the very end because, again, we've got lots of great information and details and resources to give. So, with that in mind, I guess you can take it away, David.
all right. I just saw a question pop up if the 10K was delayed till Friday. I think that's what I heard Ryder say. So let's say it is Friday, but get your application in today anyway, just in case. But let me just
Exactly.
see. Yeah, why delay it if you can get it done today? So right here, there's a Skip 10K grant, and let's get into it, see what's involved in it, and how these are scored and how to win it. So right here, of course, you want to read the rules, the details. You all U.S. based entrepreneurs, and small business owners, 18 plus. Complete the application questions. Complete the 7 short questions. All are required. Apply by uh, this says October 15th. But yeah, so that I think it's wrong here anyways, but just unless the date changes right here where it says due date, whoops, then consider it today. But I think I heard Ryder say Friday. So let's look at the application and these 4 questions, the main questions that it asks are already in your grants vault. So if you have a strong grants vault, you might not even have to make any adjustments at all. It'll just pull the answers right in. But let's see, what does your business do? Describe your product or service. So that's the explanation of your business. Why did you start your business? That's the explanation of what got you into it. How do you help your customers with your product or service? Everyone helps customers in one way or the other. That's how 99.9% of businesses make money. And how would you use grant money to help your business? So right here, this is where you say how you're going to spend it. You can break it down. You want to let us know, and really any grant know how you're going to spend the money, especially when they ask that question, because very important. If they don't know what you're going to use it on, maybe you'll use it like me at the casino. So just keep that in mind. And then right here, confirm you have a free public listing. So if you don't have one, you create one. Confirm you have an AI agent added to your skip listing. Confirm your website and confirm you have a recent business plan. So so as far as the questions go, always, and I mention this all the time, stay within the character limit. If you go above that character limit, that can disqualify you. So try to stay within that character limit. Always be clear in what your answers in your answers to the questions. You always attack the questions head on. If you can integrate a little bit of storytelling in your answers, that always helps out a ton because it lets us know exactly what you do and it helps visualize what you do. So the 4 questions, these are all graded equally, and so these are extremely important. Then you have these sections here, and these are not weighted as high as the actual questions, but there is weight to them. So it's definitely worth doing every single thing here. So the free public listing, if you don't have one, there is our whoops, there's our public listing page right here. And if you haven't created one yet, you just when you first hit this page, it's going to look something like this, and then you put in your information. You can also do it from co-founder. So that's how you do the public listing. The AI agent, it's going to look something like this when you first visit your public listing page. After you create your public listing, there's going to be this little icon thing here. And then on the top right, it's going to say create AI agent or something like that. And then you just create it. The way you create it, you follow some prompts. It'll take you over to Co-Founder. You follow some prompts and you just answer the questions. That's how you create the agent. It will attach to your public listing. And optionally and highly recommended, you attach it to your website. So right here, there's a create business listing option inside Co-Founder. So if you don't want to do it the old way or the legacy way, let's say, through the dashboard mode, you can do it through Co-Founder. You can create a business listing very quickly through AI. And then once you do that, you can click this turn on your AI agent button, turn on the agent. Let's see here. Then for the website question, so let me see here. You just go back to the questions. So then the website, if you have a website, you just type in your website address here. We do look at the websites. If you don't have a website, you can create one here, which is, right here. We have a website option. You can create one here very quickly. Highly recommended. If you do create a website, register a domain because it looks a lot more professional if you're using your own domain instead of the default. What I have here is davestowing.skipsites.com. That doesn't look professional. Now, if it was davestowing.com or something similar, that would be a lot more professional. So highly recommended you get a domain for your website if you don't have one. And then let's look here. Business plan. Recent business plan, last 3 months, uploaded to documents. So this one, if you don't have a business plan, we have an option for that too. Right here, you click on business plan, you click start applying, and you create it through here. And you can also do it right through Co-Founder under specialists. You right here, create business plan. And you don't necessarily have to use a specialist. They're just kind of like the cheat link, I guess, where you don't have to type anything, but you could actually just type it out. Create a business plan. And then it will start working on it. I'm not sure if I have one for this business here. So yeah, so it's going to gather essential questions. What's my mission? All this other stuff. And I can just answer these. Once I'm done answering, it'll generate a business plan for me. Ray, are there any questions that we have?
Hey, David, I'm glad that you asked. Yes, a lot of our members are dropping in their questions or concerns down below in the comments. So we'll highlight just a few here for now. First, from Positivity 1990, they're still in the process of updating their business plan.
1 second here. Look at this. We have an update on the due date. So there it is, October 17th at 11 p.m. That's Eastern time. So it says 11 p.m. here. It says 11:59 Eastern time. Just get it in before 11, just in case. So Friday is the due date. All right, back to you.
No worries. Thanks so much for cutting me off there, David, because definitely the deadline is very important. So Positivity, you can definitely rest assured that you have plenty of time between now and then to add your business plan to the application, as we showed earlier. All right, so let's move on to Jay Lopez. She's been giving us a lot of love. They let us know that they have applied, but now eager to get the word out. Is this a grant that everyone can apply to? But the questions ask about confirming a public listing, confirming AI agent. What can we offer?
So you can apply for this with a free account. So you have to create an account on Skip, and then you can do all of those steps. You can do it with a free account. So yeah, they still have to register for Skip either way.
Exactly. All right, Nate Mormon says it's hard to stay in the limit and describe in detail honestly. But they also follow up with the labels answers are weak or moderate until you get enough detail in there to describe what to do as a business. So in this case, what kind of suggestions or ideas can we throw out there to have it be strong all around?
So I'm just doing this to more for example. I'm just gonna paste that in here. You'll see here I'm over the character limit. Let's see what happens when I use the AI. So I go into the AI, let the AI run, and I'm hoping I'm over the character limit here. Let's see what happens. I'm not. Okay. If I'm over the character limit, something will appear right here where it says save answer. It'll say shorten answer, and you can use that. it'll usually keep all the same context. Let me see if I add another one. And you could also do it through Co-Founder. I'm having, oh, mouse is acting funny. Let me try adding this in here just to see if I can make the button appear. Let's try that. Save it. And 3,170 characters. Improve with AI. And let's see. Come on, over 1,500. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Over 1,500. So there we go. Right here, you have a short and answer button that pops up. So then I'll click the short and answer. And it's not always going to be perfect, but it will shorten the answer. Sometimes you have to press that short and answer button a couple of times so it can get it to the right length. But right here it says answer strength strong. So that's one way to do it. In Co-Founder mode, you can have it go through your answers and say, how can you make this answer stronger after you answer it? So you can have it kind of grade you on your answers. So you can do it both ways.
Awesome. All right. Well, that kind of ties into this next question from Well Life. If they have a strong score on each answer, why is their application constantly being rated a 9?
Because it's almost impossible to get a 10, and I'm not even sure if I've seen a 10, to be honest with you. I know we get close to 10s, but it's a scale of 1 to 10. If there were decimals and stuff like that, we could probably see if it's a 9.8 and things like that, but it's 1 to 10. If you're a 9.8, it's going to default to 9. So yeah, I haven't seen a 10 yet. It might not be impossible, but it's very hard to get it to a 10.
Right. And I know that some of the things that we're looking for here is storytelling, giving us a little bit insight as how to run your business wherever possible, and really have a clear and firm idea of what you're going to use the funds for. So definitely check those questions out to make sure that they're really good and strong all around, because as David mentioned earlier, each one is graded equally, right? And of course, if we love your answers and what you have written in your grant responses, then we dig a little bit deeper into your business plan, your website, which is why we ask those questions in the grant application, whether you have them or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other thing is generally applications that are 9 or above, which we don't really see anything above, but generally 9s, that's kind of where we whittle down our list. So we look at all the 9s, and then we start rating all the 9s. If you're 8 or if you're less than a 9, then most likely you're not going to make it to the next round in our criteria.
Exactly. All right. We have another question from Jay Lopez. As I mentioned earlier, she loves to give us lots of love. So what do they tell new applicants that have never heard of Skip? Should we tell them to not worry about the confirming questions, or how do they go about it?
Confirming questions. I'm not sure if I get that. Do you get
I
that?
believe those are the questions down below once you get past the essay questions, David.
Okay. I mean, you just register for an account on. Let's say I registered right now for a free account on Skip, and my friend Jeanette referred me over and said, "Hey, they're legit." So I go on Skip, and then I start seeing, okay, I answered this, and then I scroll down here. Okay, I don't have a public listing. I just click right here for not create one here. I click here, do that. Then okay, I don't have an AI agent. Okay, I'll click here. And if I don't have a website, I can create one here. Or if I already have one, I can just add it in. And then same with the business plan. Let's say they just started out as far as Skip members and they don't have a business plan yet, but they have another one. They can upload their own business plan. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a Skip business plan. So they can go through the steps with a free account just as well as a paid account.
All right. So we have a really good suggestion here from Flip or Phil. They let GPT do theirs, and then they just edit it from there and ask for X amount of words. Perfect.
Yeah. You can use any AI to do anything. Of course, we favor Co-Founder, but you can use any AI that you have, and it should work very well.
Exactly. All right. So we have a Black Queen here asking us, Does the website have to be completed, or can it have something like coming soon?
So all of these here are optional, right? Well, let's say they're optional. And but the thing is, when we go to grade, we grade the overall. So if there's someone that has everything, let's say you and someone else have the best answers possible, and you have everything else, but you don't have your website, the other person does have a website, they're going to win by that tiny margin. It's definitely better to have a coming soon page than nothing. But I highly recommend you have a website up. You could still win, but the odds are not as good as someone that does have everything else in order.
All right, we have Jessica Smith. Now that we're on the topic of websites, how much is the website on Skip?
Good question. I want to say it's like, I don't know, 14.50 a month was last time I saw, and that's been a while. Let me see if I can find it. And then it's cheaper if you go yearly. Let's see, websites. Nope, that didn't work. Or you know something? What if I ask co-founder here? Maybe they know, because I don't know off the top of my head. Let's see. How much is it to create a website on Skip? All right. Website subscription costs may vary, but it's most often included Skip. Yeah, this is not correct. Let me see if I can find it from non-logged in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, it's not going to tell me, but I think it's 14.50 a month and cheaper if you go yearly.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right. So our next one here is from Pepper Cuts Mobile Dog Grooming LLC. Does using AI to clean up answer make them less interested? I want to say no, David, but I'm kind of curious as to what you're going to say on this.
Maybe. So usually what it does is just shortens exactly what you wrote already. So you should be fine. Now, if you're way over on the characters, you're going to lose something there. But if you're only over by a little bit and it shortens, it's just going to compress what you've already put in. So you should be fine.
All right. Cynthia Johnston is asking us, they like to update their business plan so they can resubmit. Can they resubmit their application with us?
So they can, but something about the business plan thing is we look at the last one that you have uploaded in your system. So let's see here. So right here, you'll see I have a whole bunch of different business plans. We look at the last one that you did for that particular company. So if you uploaded your business plan, let's say right now, and when we go to judge the applications, we're going to be looking at the last one. We're not going to look at the previous. So you can just do that. Even if you've already submitted the application, you can still update your business plan through the My Documents.
With that in mind, Jade Designs that asks, after updating the business plan using co-founder, do they have to be a Plus member to download the updated business plan, or is there a way around it?
Good question. You might have to be a Plus member. I'm
Mhm.
not sure of that. I believe you have to be a Plus to generate the new business plan, or have a business plan membership, because there is like a separate business plan one. So most likely you'll have to have one or the other.
All right, awesome. Ofria's Creations is asking, if they have credit, how do they use it to remodel their Shopify website? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that for us?
Well, I can answer it from what I understand of the question. So let's say you have some Skip credits in the wallet here, but Shopify is not compatible with the Skip system, so you can't really use that for a Skip. You can use your credits for a Skip website, but it's not going to be the same platform as Shopify. So you can definitely use it for a Skip website, but we are not going to go on Shopify and redesign it for you, or we can't do that at the moment.
All right, Black Queen is giving us lots of love today as well. Is there a certain way the business plan has to be displayed? They have theirs typed out.
Okay, so I mean, if it's typed out, that's like 99% of the battle. Now you might want to add a little formatting to it and submit it. That's it, at least not handwritten. If it was handwritten, it would take forever to transcribe.
Oof, that's for sure. All right, we've got Jeremy J. Scrazy Scruggs. Where do they see the rating on their skip application?
So if you go into co-founder, you can ask it to give me feedback on the last 10K grant. And I don't know if I did one on this account because I have like a whole bunch of businesses in here, and it'll give you a rating feedback. Let's see if I did any. Okay, checking the feedback for the last 10K, and it's still being prepared. Yeah, so that one's not ready. And then I think there's a specialist too, so you might not have to remember that. View grants feedback. So I believe this button will work for that. Let me press it just to see if it does anything. For it's still being prepared. Okay, so yeah, I might not have even applied for any, but generally you can get feedback after the grant has closed and we've announced the winner. So it's not you're not getting instant feedback like that. You can get instant feedback from within co-founder, but it's not like the official criteria that we use for that specific grant.
Looks like writer just posted down below. It's official. Grant number 3 application feedback is now available, and you can use the link in the comments to do so. So definitely hit that link to get that feedback from there. All right, moving on with Susan Burns. They're telling us that they struggle the most with the question about what is working, what is not working for this year, especially with the word count. Is there a chance that we can increase the word count, David?
Probably not. And there's a reason for the word or character count. And that's because we find that's like the average that most grants ask for. So we kind of the grant vault in general is meant to be like your template for a whole bunch of different grants, not just the skip grants. So that's why we try to keep it about average so you can use it the most places possible. But we'll put it in the suggestion box.
Exactly. All right. Our next one is here from Amaka Rose. Is it possible in the future to have added to the application feedback section to include what point range our applications fall in?
It does, I believe. It should give you a score. So like you've heard other people mention, oh, I haven't my score was a 9. It will give you a score on the 10K grants or the bigger grants that we do. Once the winner has been announced, we basically allow to request the feedback, and it does give you a grade score, and it does give you some feedback on how to improve it.
Exactly, which fit to be tied, that kind of ties into the answer to your question. We provide feedback as soon as we announce the winner. We always let you know on our YouTube channel here whether or not that is available to you. So stay tuned for that. Okay, I'm just going to check in here really quick. I think we're almost caught up, David, with all of the questions in the chat. Do you have any other tips or suggestions while I keep on looking?
Uh just submit the application. If if you're short on time and you submit it anyways, even if it's not perfect, that's fine. You get better at it. You can request the feedback once the winners have been announced. That way you'll know how to improve your next application, and you get better at it as you go along anyways. So your first applications might not be perfect, but you start getting better and better, and that's the main thing is apply for everything that you qualify for and make those deadlines.
All right. Thanks so much, David, for that. We're going to dig right in. Silver Raid is asking us, do you have a better chance to win if you have a Skip Plus account?
For this grant, you do not, but for some grants, you have to have a Skip Plus account. So for this one, it doesn't give any advantage, although it should.
All right, Lala Love has been giving us definitely lots of love. How often can a business be recycled in as a finalist, or is it strictly on a points dynamic? Ooh, good question.
Okay, so I mean, you could technically be a finalist every time. You know, these are merit based, and the grading criteria could change depending on what the requirements are. Like this one right here is different from all the other ones. This one has a little bit more. Like before, you didn't have to have the AI agent. Before, I think I'm not sure. You might not have had to have the public listing. The website's usually there, business plan's usually there. So this one has a little extra criteria on it, but yeah, you could technically be the finalist every time.
Exactly.
And
All
and
right.
actually there's a couple of businesses that hit like the top, let's say top 20 multiple times. I'm not going to say who they are, but there are some
Hmm.
businesses that do get to the top very often.
That's for sure. Us two being on the grant committee, there's definitely quite a lot that come up time and time again, which is very, very competitive indeed. All right, Kilanda is asking us, I'm sure you get a bunch of nines and tens in applications. What is normally the number one deciding factor for someone to win? I know we touched up on it briefly earlier.
Yeah, there's no one deciding factor. There's multiple factors. And so look at and this is with any grant, not just a skip grant, but you look at all the questions, you look at all the requirements, and it kind of gives you an idea what's being looked for. Like there's, let me just go back here because where did I have it? Skip 10K. Where did you go? Here it is. So right here, there's 8 deciding factors. There's the 4 questions. We'll consider that like one thing, the 4 questions, and then you have these other things here. They're small factors, but when everything else is equal, you want to have every single factor uh, working for you.
All right, another question from Orpheus Creation. Can we use the skip credit for marking? If not, how can we help it to use their business?
So I guess that's marketing, and
Hmm.
you can use it like for a public listing. You have your public listing. You can get your business featured on Skip, and that gives you more prominent placement throughout Skip, and that's one way of doing it. And then, of course, you create the AI agent and put it on your website. It's going to be on your public listing. That can help you close deals.
Exactly. All right, Silver Reed is asking, do we use AI to evaluate the grant answers?
We do at the beginning, and then humans read it after. So when at the beginning there's a whole bunch of them, and then we use it to break it down to like the top 200 or so, and then from there we start dwindling the number down and down until we get to top 10 to 20. But AI is used to get us from whatever the amount is to about 200, and then the rest is human intervention.
So that kind of ties into what Susan was asking us. Do we only read grants that are at score 9 plus, or do we read all of them? So good tie into that, which she also lets us know. She looked at her feedback for on number 3. It went up from an 8 to a 9, and that's a big jump. It's definitely very exciting, but clearly not good enough. And it's okay, Susan. That's the reason why we have created the Grant Vault, right? Utilize Skip AI to your ability. Use some of those tips to improve your answers even more. Because I'm sure you're going to jump from a 9 to a 9.5 or a 9.8, as David mentioned earlier. Every little bit
Well,
definitely helps.
Well, nine is usually where we kind of cut them off. So it'll go to let's say we have a whole bunch of nines, because usually the nines there's a very good amount of nines. If there isn't that many nines, we will go down to eights. So, but I don't think tens. I don't even remember seeing a 10. So if you're a 9, you're at the level where humans are reading it.
All right, and that is all of the questions for today, David. We cleared out our queue. For
All
those of
right.
you that still have questions or concerns after our live here with David and myself, feel free to shoot us an email, support@helloskip.com. You've got a wonderful team here at Skip dedicated to help each and every one of you get a win for your business. So definitely send in your suggestions, feedback, concerns through there. We'll be more than happy to take care of it.
All right. All right. Well, everyone, have a great day. Thank you very much. Get those applications in, and I hope you win, all of you. All right.
All right.